Welcome back to another soul nurturing episode of Talk Therapy. I'm your host, Shante Saulsberry, and today we'll delve into a few powerful and uplifting topics on healing from abusive or toxic relationships and discovering the path to love. We'll explore how to trust again, what it truly means to be vulnerable, and the significance of setting healthy boundaries for our well-being. Join us as we embark on a journey of healing, self-discovery, and ultimately, love. To kick things off, let's discuss the process of healing after a toxic relationship. Let's talk about the importance of self-compassion and seeking professional help to navigate through the emotional aftermath. Here are a few key things. Let's check them out. The first step towards healing is acknowledging that you were in a toxic relationship and recognizing its impact on your emotional well-being. Self-awareness helps you identify patterns, triggers, and areas that need healing. Healing from a toxic relationship, it can be challenging and a very emotional process. Seeking support from friends, family, or professional therapists can provide you with a safe space to express your feelings and gain valuable insights. Setting and maintaining healthy boundaries is crucial for protecting yourself from future harm. Learn to say no. I have troubles with that sometimes, at least receiving that. But learn to say no and prioritize your needs, which helps you regain a sense of control and empowerment. That is definitely a strong word. Empowerment. Let's remember that. Of course, throughout this session, empowerment. Allow yourself to grieve and let go of past hurt and pain. Emotional release can come through journaling. This is very important. Therapy, or engaging in creative outlets. Even listening to Talk Therapy on Central City Radio. This is therapy. This is a way of being vulnerable. A way of listening and connecting with others. This is a start. So if you're listening, welcome. If you know someone else, share. Cultivate self-love by treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and understanding. Practice self-care and remind yourself that you deserve to be loved and respected. Remember that. You deserve to be loved. Many of us find it challenging to open up to love again after being hurt. Let's explore some more ways to cultivate trust and let go of past fears or even current fears. We all have those fears. Allow time. This is important. Time. Allow time for healing. Rushing into a new relationship without proper healing can lead to repeating patterns. Take the time you need to heal and process your emotions before opening up to love again. This one is huge. Why is this one huge? Because so many of us rush into new relationships without being healed. And that only creates another toxic form of routine. When someone unhealed jumps from one toxic relationship to another quickly, it can be a clear sign of avoidance and an attempt to numb the pain of loss from a previous relationship. I know there's a lot of that going on right now. This behavior is often rooted in deep emotional wounds and unresolved issues from past experiences. Again, let's explore what it looks like and what it may mean. When someone moves hastily from one toxic relationship to another, they tend to repeat similar patterns and dynamics. This repetition can indicate an underlying unresolved emotional baggage that hasn't been addressed. Baggage. I think I talk a lot about baggage within Janice's Women's Center. Getting the ladies to understand that sometimes our unhealed baggage isn't something that we should always check in with someone else. Maybe that's something we need to check in within ourselves. going through that baggage, pulling out everything that you might not need, addressing that, maybe even figuring out, why did I even pack that? Because it's something you might not need. The fear of being alone or facing the pain of loss may drive this behavior. The person may use a new relationship as a distraction to avoid confronting their feelings of loneliness or emptiness. Unhealed individuals may seek validation from others, using relationships as a way to feel worthy and valued. And again, understanding that is an area within ourselves. Maybe those are our insecurities. Using relationships as a way to feel worthy and valued. Insecurities. The reliance on external validation can lead to a cycle of toxic relationships. Starting a new relationship quickly may provide temporary relief from the pain of loss. But that's all it will be. A temporary relief. It's not until we begin to do the work on ourselves, when we begin to heal from our previous relationships, or even if it's not a relationship, maybe just heal from whatever it is that we might be going through. Something that doesn't even involve someone else. Maybe our upbringing. Women come to me all the time discussing pains from their childhood. Maybe their father was an alcoholic. Maybe their mother was never there. Maybe, just maybe they had no parents at all. Maybe their parents was just too busy to be involved. Maybe they were raped. It could have been someone in the family. It could have been someone outside of the family. All of this is trauma. Wounds in which we bring into relationships only to quiet down the pain that we feel within. Again, baggage in which no one else can unpack. No one else can check. That is something that we have to do ourselves. We have to do the work. However, this relief is often short-lived and does not address the root cause of the pain. So rushing into something new before you do the work on you only leads to more toxicity in a relationship. Okay, let's explore a few more ways to cultivate trust and let go of past fears. Learn to trust your gut feelings and intuition when considering a new relationship. Be cautious of red flags, Lord knows. And listen to any warning signs that may arise. We oftentimes, probably most of the time, ignore the red flags. There's so many signs there that says no. But yet, we silence those voices and continue because maybe, just maybe, this is all we know. This person is familiar. This person looks like your comfort blanket. So this is where we stay. We choose those same individuals because they're reminders of what it is we already know. We all know. We all fear change. We are all scared to try something new. So we run to something so familiar. And in some of those familiar territories lies pain, trauma, and abuse. Be transparent with potential partners about your past experiences. Honest communication fosters understanding and helps build a foundation of trust. Don't go into this pointing fingers about your past. That's not the whole point of communicating. Taking things slowly in a new relationship, important. Let's take it a little bit slower these days. I want to get to know you. If you have a puppy, what's his name? Why'd you get the dog? Why do you like dogs? Slow. Start with communication. Find out everything you need to know about the person. See what flags pop out. If you know you don't like dogs, well, that person might not be the one for you. There's no need in trying to make a puzzle piece fit when you know it shouldn't go there. Allow trust and connection to develop naturally over time. Over time. Again, we talk about that. Time is important in healing and getting to know someone. It helps. It helps you to understand where you're going. Vulnerability can be intimidating. Let's talk about being vulnerable. But being vulnerable is a key element in forming deep and meaningful connections. Let's discuss what it means to be vulnerable and why it's necessary to allow love to blossom. Is it scary to lay yourself raw? Absolutely. Yet, vulnerability is essential. It's definitely an essential aspect of forming deep and meaningful connections with others. To be vulnerable means to open up ourselves emotionally, exposing our true thoughts, feelings, and experiences without fear or judgment or rejection. Nobody likes rejection. It requires letting our guard down and allowing others to see our authentic selves. Now, if we fear allowing someone to get to know who we really are, who you are every day, not this image of who you want them to love, but who you are. If we fear that, then we're not ready. Let's include our strengths, our weaknesses, fears, and our insecurities. Be genuine. Let them know. Being vulnerable can be intimidating for several reasons. Society often teaches us to be strong, independent, and self-reliant, which can create a fear of appearing weak or needy. Past experiences of hurt or rejection may also make us hesitant to share our innermost feelings, as we fear being hurt again. However, embracing vulnerability is crucial for cultivating genuine connections and allowing love to blossom for several reasons. Let's take a look at some of those reasons. Vulnerability allows us to be our true selves and express our genuine emotions. Don't be scared. I know it's tough to express yourself, but we all have emotions. And yeah, maybe from our past, we opened up and somebody abused your vulnerability. When we hide behind when we hide, we may attract people who don't truly understand or appreciate us. Why? Because we weren't genuine. How can they understand you if you were never truly being you? By embracing vulnerability, we attract others who accept us for who we are, fostering more authentic connections. This is important. True emotional intimacy is built on vulnerability. Let's repeat that. True emotional intimacy is built on vulnerability. When we share our thoughts and feelings with someone, it deepens the emotional bond and allows for a deeper level of trust and understanding between individuals. When we are vulnerable, it encourages others to open up and be honest in return. Why lead in a lie? Only to have to continue to keep up with that lie. It's so much easier to just be you. And for some, if I was to ask you, who are you? And it's tough for you to respond, well, maybe that's why it's tough to be honest about who you really are, because you're still trying to figure it out. This exchange of vulnerability fosters empathy and creates a deeper sense of connection with one another. Sharing our vulnerabilities can be a healing process. It allows us to confront our past traumas, fears, or insecurities, and work through them with the support of others. This process can lead to personal growth and self-discovery. It's always interesting when we discover something new about ourselves. It's even more interesting when someone validates something new that's discovered in you. That's when you're being authentic. Before we wrap up today's episode, let's share some inspiring quotes that speak to the power of self-love and healing. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy is precious. You get to choose how you use it. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. Anna Taylor. In the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself. My boy Deepak Chopra. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Robert Holden. You are not too damaged to be loved. You are not too broken to be healed. You are not too scared to be trusted. You are worthy of love, healing, and trust. Unknown. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. C.S. Lewis. Thank you for joining us today on Talk Therapy. Remember, healing from past wounds is a courageous act that can lead us to love and happiness beyond our imagination. Let us be gentle with ourselves, set healthy boundaries, and embrace vulnerability as we continue this journey of growth and love. Don't forget to love yourself first and foremost. Only then can we fully love ourselves or others. Until next time, stay open-hearted and kind to yourself. I'm your host, Shante Saulsberry, and this is Talk Therapy on Central City Radio.